I don't like. I usually cut it out because I go, and I'm like, cut that out.
All right, and we're live. Hello, and welcome to Oily Trash Movies. We're your host. I'm Daddy WarBux.
Are you really recording this time?
Yes, and I hope this bit never gets
Oh
old.
my god. Okay. Okay. And I'm Bubblegum Barbie.
The only podcast where two people say unfunny things for an entire hour.
No. Let's do the intro again.
All right, take two. Hello, and welcome. Wait, hold on. I have to go. Yeah, you know what? That first intro, that first take was great. Let's just
No. Do it again.
We're your hosts.
Hello.
I'm Daddy WarBux.
And I'm Bubblegum Barbie.
A little bit of issues this week. Today we're going to be watching Robotica Destructiva, but before we get into that, last week, well, about 3 weeks ago now, we watched Follow Her, which we both loved.
Yeah, it was a movie about us, which is what we love. We love our biggest fans, which is always us. Yeah, of course we're going to love this movie.
Yeah, you know what? Of all the people on the earth, 7 billion some people, we are the two most responsible for the Oily Trash Movies podcast.
Yeah.
You see some random guy on the street corner begging for change, ask him what he's done for this podcast.
Nothing.
He probably hasn't even liked it or subscribed. He's done nothing. So, yeah, all the credit goes to us.
Mm-hmm. We work really, really hard.
Yeah, so I don't know what we can say about Follow Her that we haven't already gushed about in last week's episode, but I did want to point out I originally had this in my number 2 spot above Glorious.
Shut up. You did.
Yeah, but while I did criticize Glorious's first act for being a bit unbelievable, I had problems with both the third and the first act of Follow Her, so I did decide to knock it down.
You know, Glorious was a really good movie all the way from the beginning to the end. So I agree with that. I do agree with that. That movie is art.
You know, I noticed that in 2 of our top 3 favorite movies for both of us, the cast has been just 2 people.
Yeah. That is so interesting. You're right.
Now, today's movie, Robotica Destructiva. Do we have any information on this?
Let's see. So
Apparently we lost our notes.
We did. We always lose our notes. And we're so bad right now. Like, do we even know how to record at this moment? Are you even recording correctly? Am I muted?
I didn't record. Oh, wait, no, I am recording myself. Never mind.
Okay, thank goodness. Okay, so this movie is 78 minutes. It is considered a sci-fi film, which I love sci-fi. You love sci-fi. The thing I'm excited about this movie is that one guy did everything. He's a director, he's the writer, he's the composer, he's the editor. It's just one dude making this movie, and that is awesome. I wonder if he just used one camera and he held the camera. It doesn't say, though.
What is the plot summary?
Okay.
We just woke up from naps, or a bit groggy.
Yes. A trio of android warrior sisters are awakened after a 10,000-year sleep to do battle with a series of mechanized warlords that have threatened their world.
Is that it?
That's it. How did I do?
You know what? I'm not convinced this is going to be a good movie, but I think we're going to enjoy it. I think it's going to be a good oily trash movies type movie.
Yes, I think it's going to be a great oily trash. I mean, I believe I'm just going, this is my psychicness or whatever that's called. Or what is it when you, not prodigy, but that word where you think it's going to happen?
A prediction?
My prediction, yes. Thank you. So my prediction is that this movie is going to be better than Cryo.
All right. Well, fantastic prediction. Just looking at the poster and having seen a few clips and part of the trailer, I'm reminded half of Spare Parts, which we both unanimously disliked, I think to both of our surprises, because that movie looked like it was going to be so awesome.
Yeah.
And another half, Psycho Gorman, which We did not watch for the show. JT and I actually watched this on the old Kaleidocast podcast, but it's people are just dressed up as monsters and they look like something out of an old Power Rangers episode where it's just a dude wearing stuff that was put together from someone's garage. But you can do great stuff. You can do great filmmaking with that kind of style. So we'll see where in the spectrum from spare parts to Psycho Gorman this falls.
I'm really hopeful with this movie. I think I'm hoping that it's like At the Earth's Core, where it was a fun movie. It looked, I mean, At the Earth's Core was a 1970s film, obviously, and their props was very outdated, but it was so much fun seeing those silly monsters, specifically when they're doing their running sequence, running in space in one space sequence. That's what I'm hoping this movie could do for me. In its just dramatic, fun storytelling way of one guy just wanting to make a movie. It's like I'm hoping this is like Milko Davis kind of film.
But better.
Yes, correct.
Sorry, I feel bad shitting on Milko Davis. He seems like a cool dude. I can't wait for his Ghosters movie, which should be coming out this summer. Milko, we know that you're our biggest fan.
Mm-hmm.
Ready to go here? Get in here.
Let's go. Oh, already getting right into it. Wow.
And the most dangerous weapon in the universe is a force called love.
All right, already ripping off The Fifth Element here.
I literally just saw The Fifth Element like yesterday.
So, all right, yeah, here's our bad guys. They're all cool people in suits. Babette Bombshell? That sounds promising. That sounds like that's gonna be our thumbnail.
I'm digging the song. It's a machine planet.
Yeah, we open up with some CGI. Actually, this might even be a miniature.
Ah. Wow. Wow. One guy making this, I'm impressed already.
I mean, those little droid robots, I don't know if they look too good, but these bad guys look great. Everything's fast.
This gives me, you know what, it reminds me of Lazy Town. It's kind of like that, like a stop motion vibe.
Well, all of this is green screen and composited for sure.
I would love to cosplay as one of these. Attend a furry con and go in these suits.
Do it. Don't be all talk.
Make myself a mechanical cat girl. I'm inspired. The green screening is obviously green screen, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's certainly better than, was that Dark Cloud where you could see their hair like bleeding in?
Yes. Ah, tripping, dude. Ah.
Oh my goodness, it's like Far Cry Blood Dragon. Just totally synthwave vibes. You know what? I'm liking this so far. This is so stylish.
Chainsaw. I like her. You know, this movie is like the kind of movie that I want to buy on DVD, throw a house party, play it, like completely just silence as I'm like we have like the Spotify playlist and it's just in the background.
Or like have it projected on a wall where there's a DJ playing house music.
This weapon is so important to you, yet you lose it so easily. Why'd you call on us?
She's a really bad actress, but I think she's bad that she's good. I did like her line where she's like, one would give you happiness and peace or whatever it was. And she's like, the other one will give you destruction. Yeah.
I did like the line. Yeah, that was funny. Her delivery, I'm not sold on though. This feels like it's so fast paced, but I don't know if that's just the music is pounding and shit's flashing and so much stuff's going on.
I know, I was just gonna tell you. This is a great movie for someone who's ADHD. I love the costumes and the makeup. It like had to take so long to get everybody dressed and painted I love how that guy has a light bulb.
Yeah, and did you notice how the one guy's helmet has a pool noodle that's just cut in half? It's like pool noodles is indie filmmaking 101.
Yes, I love the pool noodle.
I love how the robots have such a great sense of humor too.
These are very advanced robots if they could laugh and cry. Oh no! Ah!
Oh, is it a dinosaur?
No, dude. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was hoping for too. I was like, oh, please be a robotic dinosaur. Ah! I wonder if her German accent is fake or real. I'm guessing fake.
It has to be. I think it's supposed to be a Russian accent.
Oh, Russian. Okay.
But why the hell would robots have accents anyway?
I have no idea. Oh my gosh, is this a dinosaur? A robot dinosaur? Please.
Oh, it's just a person.
Aw. Yeah, this movie was also filmed in stop motion. This is cool.
It is a blend of filmmaking styles, but it kind of works for how zany it is.
Yeah. Nice touch.
I have a red cat, a blue cat, a purple one.
Oh, it's just like the girl from Follow Her. What kind of cat do you have?
The gray one.
The third robot empire? Are these Nazi robots?
I was gonna say that this seems like the Nazi robots.
What, there's 1,000 ships now? Is this all the other Nazi robots?
So this is like the Powerpuff Girls, but with
Got a better
robots.
idea. Why don't you give me that staff so I can shove it up your...
We're not here to make trouble.
I have a cat. She doesn't see anything.
She was just like confused and disoriented, thinking about her cats, and he just shocked her. I love this movie. It's so much fun. Look, he has a plane, a toy plane at the top of his helmet.
The filters on his mask there are lids from spray paint cans.
This movie is better than Star Wars.
Put that on the DVD cover. Better than Star Wars. Oily trash movies.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 WarBux.
Oh no, Limpy!
He just says Wilhelm scream.
Oh no.
Was that a reference to The Wizard of Oz? What a world, what a world.
I guess so, yeah, because they're all in silver. Okay, cut that. I don't know what I said.
It's a reference to The Wizard of Oz because they're all silver. That's what you said. An asteroid made out of kinetic sand.
This is all you need to make a robot movie. Just get a bunch of silver spray paint and spray paint everything.
Yeah, and some of these robots are very clearly stop motion, while other times they seem a lot more like traditional CGI.
Ah, Bitcoin.
A lot of this movie does feel stylistically similar to Tetsuo, which we were just discussing before watching this.
I really love that stupid plane.
So this is an allegory for the Nazi invasion of France, right?
I don't know, like, so much has happened that I'm kind of just, like, visually intrigued, but I have no idea what's happening.
It's starting to become exhausting, honestly.
They put, like, those red Solo cups on top of it, on top of her helmet. Ah! This is like Scooby-Doo's chase scene. I love it. This is how I play with my Barbies. Hi, I'm Daddy WarBux, and I'm Bublegum Barbie, and I'm gonna say unfunny things for 2 hours. It's just a trash can with stuff on it.
The hot glue budget for this movie must have been through the roof.
I'm like getting overstimulated now at this point.
That's how I was feeling in the beginning. Second act kind of slowed down some, and I was able to catch my breath.
Yeah. I did like the sequence where he was like sliding down the thing trying to get that pizza box because I was able to like catch up.
Oh god, this is a time travel movie now?
Are they literally sabotaging the ship they are on? Like, that's not really smart of them.
They're helping their past selves now.
I love this. Oh, look at how strong he is. He's so strong.
Alright, this is terrible now.
Now I kind of wish it was like the burrito movie.
Over in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what this movie's missing?
What?
Robot sex scene.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Or like a striptease. Like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, I know they're going back and forth from like the past to the future and helping their past selves. And there's like this Nazi alliance that's the enemy, but they're pranking each other. That was a cool effect.
Ice cube trays.
Yeah.
Oh, yes! Sexy robots! This guy looks like a gigolo. Or a juggalo?
Yeah, a gigolo? I think it's gigolo.
Now, a gigolo is a male prostitute. A juggalo is a guy that wears, like, clown makeup.
Oh. I thought he was like a pimp, or maybe he's like a rich dude who just hires prostitutes. Here he comes.
Wait, it's like a sea turtle?
It's a whole city.
That's, what is that, Terry Pratchett? Thumbnail. Boom.
The one on the right has like beautiful legs, which would be to our viewers the one on the left.
Them sexy robot legs. I do like robot chicks. They're like second to cat girls.
So when I said a robotic cat girl, you were like, oh my god.
Yeah, but make sure you cut that one. Is this the end?
I think so. Yes, this is the end. It has to be. I do like that robot. This one right here, this one's fun.
This movie also kind of reminds me of anime, where people like get hit and they just go flying out into the distance. You can see the reflection of the camera in this guy's eye.
And you could see the entire crew. And it's just a director, and his name is Sam Griffin.
Oh my, what?
It was them the whole time. He also has a time machine.
Yeah, everyone in this movie has time machines, and it's just all them going back in time before each other.
There was an overstock of time machine production, so they went on sale.
It was a limited time offer.
Yeah, these are bikers. Like, seeing this guy up close, these are all bikers and biker chicks.
I think these guys are juggalos.
No, I think they're all bikers. And it makes sense that they can make all this stuff because they have, like, stolen parts. Like, a whole junkyard of stolen parts. Oh my gosh, she has a toy armor thing that you could get, like, at Walmart, and they just spray painted it silver.
They should have gotten one can of gold spray paint.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, like, the gold robot could be the rich merchant one that's offering to pay everybody these tokens. And he'd be like, oh, he's made out of gold because he's got all this money.
Yeah, like Futurama, the golden robot, and he's like an actor. This is what this movie needed an inspiring actor.
Oh my god, he activated the Archelon Destroyer? You better go back in time.
Oh my gosh. Just go to a rave. It was just a ticket to the rave con. It's them and Lego. It's that Disney, it's The Small World.
Yeah, you're right.
What is the most powerful force in the universe? And what is music?
This is like Fifth Element.
Well, you did it, ladies. Lloyd Kaufman from Trauma Entertainment. He did the Toxic Avenger movies and probably like a million others. Do you know that guy?
No, that guy does not look familiar. But it looks like they used his face and stick. There is a dinosaur in this movie.
All right, well, that was Robotica Destructiva. There's Sam Gaffin.
So the director also starred in this movie. Wow. I just realized like this title and title credit was fun. Like I've never seen this before. Like they have like their cute like showing off their hard work of robotic stuff, right?
Additional costuming and makeup, Sam Gaffin gives himself another credit. Babette Bombshell. Yeah, this is like all of the people involved in this movie worked on everything.
Yeah, so he did do like a Milko Davis where Sam Griffin was doing mostly everything, but also his cast was also his crew. Like they all are just people who love making movies and do anything and everything and fund their own pockets to make these movies together and support Sam Griffin. See, and the special thanks is the biker gang. I'm telling you.
Post production is where 99% of this movie was built. Rest in peace, Amber.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut that whole music video.
Okay, I'll start here. This movie really hooked me in the beginning. I feel like first act was definitely the strongest. There was just so much shit going on. The effects, it's just boom, 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 boom. It slows down some in the second act, which is fine. You need to be able to breathe. You need to be able to get a grasp on the plot. Third act, I was expecting it to ramp back up again, but it never really reached that high point that the beginning of the movie had for me, which is you want your climax to be the most exciting part of the movie, and that part let me down.
And there's so much I want to say, yeah, and I'm trying to like I'm like trying to I don't know how I feel about this. Like I the first part did have me very stimulated. Like I said, it had my attention. I was excited about it, but then I was overstimulated where I was like hurt, like I was exhausted. But then you mentioned like yeah, there was that moment where you could breathe. Like I did like that slow down and how I was slowing down because there's so much that happened in the beginning. Um, I'm just trying to decide if I like this movie or not. Like, I like the creativity. I liked the costume and makeup. Like, yes, it's fun, you know? And these are people who just love making movies, and because of that, I am entertained, and because of that, I do appreciate it, even though it is oily trash, I think. You know, but it was fun. This is why I like doing this.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to give this buckets of oil. It is fun. It's so hyperactive. There's so many influences from other films that you can see in this movie. I think you're right when you say that this is created by people who really love movies and love making movies. Like this whole sequence here where she's fighting the Peacekeeper, it's so stylish, it's so unique, it's so visually appealing, and it just sort of drops off as the movie goes along. And same with the humor. We really laughed a couple times in the beginning. There was a time when they zapped the first two robots who were mouthing off, and then the third woman just looks at them and she doesn't even say anything, and then she gets zapped. And there were a few running jokes where every time the one she would go to say ass, but then she would begin falling and say, shove it up your ah! And then even the running jokes seemed to just disappear. And I think it was that humor that the movie had in the first half really gave this movie it gave it character. The movie itself had character, and then it flattened out.
Yeah, and see, that's why I took like a huge pause because I don't know how I feel about it. Because again, I love the creativity. I loved the idea of it. It's like fresh. It is something that's fun. Like even like how they made all the costumes, even all the like the spaceships, which is something that's so much fun that I really like. I loved the originality and creativity that was put into this film. And I can tell everybody had fun. Everybody wanted to make this movie.
They're all chewing the scenery and they're all loving every line they're delivering.
Everything, and it's so much fun. It's like this kind of movie is kind of like Spaceballs. What's another movie that's like Spaceballs? Like those comedy movies like Tropic Thunder.
It felt very slapstick. Almost, I sort of want to compare it to the Three Stooges, especially in the scene where they all three leaned out the door of the spaceship, ducked back in at the same time. That felt very Three Stooges like. The whole thing with them getting hit, that feels very Three Stooges. He gets punched and his head's like dented in. They're very slapstick.
Yeah, and I really, really agree with you. Like I mentioned one of the episodes too, but I think I cut it when I was talking about clown acting, and I feel like every one of these actors, yes, they might have not be like the best Oscar-winning actors, but they delivered clown acting very well. They all had fun, and I think that's a lot of the issue. What happens? It's like have fun doing this, and they did, and I respect them. Like the whole cast and crew, which was everybody that we saw on the camera, they probably did like a standalone camera, and then someone would run once they finished their line and then move the camera around to the other characters like that. It feels like that type of set, and I respect them because this is fun. This is a fun movie, and I will recommend this film to people who like to watch this type of things, like Tropic Thunder films, Spaceballs. Like those like the Twilight What is that? Prodigy? No, it's not Prodigy. What's that word?
Parody.
Parodies. This is like a parody film, but it's its own vision, its own thing, like a parody film of robot movies, and it like takes itself seriously, but not too seriously, and it's just fun. I had fun doing this.
I think we can both agree that we love the practical effects and we love the costumes and like the airplane on the guy's head and everything that was hot glued together. It's eye candy. And not only that, but all of the CGI backgrounds. And I don't want to pile too much on Demilko Davis, but one of the big complaints that I had, or that probably we both had with Jurassic Thunder, is the way he shoots his scenes. Is everyone's on a green screen at all times, and then they're put into these digital backgrounds, which are just so boring because one after another they're just big giant empty rooms with nothing in them. Here we've got like the rocks in the background, and then the spaceships, and then the alien planets, and there's electricity zapping everywhere, and
It looks great.
fluttering ashes in the foreground. There's just so much to look at, and it's always interesting. And the visual storytelling. It's visually exciting.
It is 100% visually interesting. Like I mentioned, I would probably put this movie at a house party, and this would be one of the films that I would pick where there's just no sound, just play it. So there's something for someone to do, and this movie has that. So I really like this movie. If I were to fix this movie, what would I fix? Like I mentioned, it was so stimulating for me that I didn't really pay attention to the story. I was so bombarded visually that I just didn't have time to focus on the storyline, even though I did. And even, see, the thing about this movie, though, is that it's that kind of movie, if you're not paying attention, it's fun. You could still kind of get what's going on.
The story is completely irrelevant to the experience.
Yes, exactly. I cannot really speak if the writing was okay. Yes, there was some jokes, and yes, I agree with what you said. Some of the jokes were kind of flat. It wasn't as funny. But overall, it was a fun film. If I were to fix it, that would probably be it. Just slow down a little bit. Maybe I did like it going fast paced and first act and then slowing down in the second act. I would like for it to be like a little hill of it climaxing and then coming back down at the end.
Yeah, you need the climax. One of my biggest complaints was that music, as this whole movie, especially the first act, was scored. Just it was beautifully scored. It was so action packed at the beginning, and just like the fast paced rave beats were just getting me pumped, and the music didn't come back as hard as it could have at the end, and that's definitely one of the weaknesses. And especially with the whole theme at the end being music is the most powerful force in the universe, it let me down.
I feel though that the whole love part of the film was kind of like a joke that Sam Griffin was trying to make, like an irony. I feel like so
It didn't work for me
I
then.
know it didn't. I feel like Sam Griffin did everything on purpose. Like that type of thing. Like he knew, he thought very meticulously with what he was doing.
Well, he did know that this was something stupid because he literally had the guy puke when
Right.
they were like, love saves the universe.
I love that. I really loved the personality of each character as well. It was just it was such a fun film. I would recommend this to all my friends, especially if they like film. I would even recommend this to like people who don't really like films, like to children. I they probably wouldn't even know what's going on. This is a family movie. They probably wouldn't even understand. Just like me, I didn't even get most of the plot, but I was so like stimulated with what was going on. Like I was all about the robots. Like it looked so cool. It was so creative. I always found something new in every single shot.
Yeah, you're just staring at their costumes, just like looking at every single detail.
And then when you're done, when you think you're done staring at every detail, then you're staring at the background. And that's like so much going on. There is so much detail. There is stuff happening. It feels never like I was transformed. I just realized this. I was in this robot utopia kind of format. And I never ever questioned it. I was there with them and they were having a fun. It's like a Scooby Doo episode, when you're just.
You know what best describes this movie is that it's exactly what it's supposed to be.
It is exactly what it's supposed to be. And I love it. And I want it. And I want to have it. I'm going to play it next time I have a party. It's this one. I also like playing. What is that called? It's like this anime. It's this anime and it's a crazy Japanese movie anime. It's called no, Paprika.
Paprika. Oh,
Yeah.
that Paprika is by the same people who made Redline.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. And Redline would be the third one that I would also play. I would play Redline as well.
We should do a bonus episode on Redline one of these days.
Yeah.
But to go back to what we would do to fix this movie, I had mentioned this while we were watching the movie, and that when you have the establishing shots of some of these places, there needs to be, I don't know if it's not a title card, but when a movie, like when James Bond goes to France and it'll say at the bottom, Paris, France, I feel like for how many bizarre locations there were in this movie with you had the robot home planet of Radia, and you had the planetoid, and you had 3 or 4 different spaceships and that turtle thing. I think it would really help keep things straight, especially throughout the second act and the beginning of the third act when they're doing all the bizarre time travel stuff. If you could just something to help you keep track of where we're at
Right.
in the universe.
And it's one of its kind.
I don't think you change a lot in this movie because it really is the movie it's supposed to be. And I would recommend this to anyone who's interested in either filmmaking or This reminded me a lot of Psycho Gorman, which I mentioned before we started watching it, that visually it kind of looked like Psycho Gorman. And if you liked Psycho Gorman, I think you'll like this. And Psycho Gorman was a very niche film, and this is a very niche film. And I think there's a lot of people who aren't gonna like this, or that, it wouldn't be their cup of tea. So, what do we rate this?
Oh man, so I'm really torn. I think this is something that I have to think about. I want to. It's a movie that you would think you would see it and you were like, okay, this is oily trash, right? But I think it is. I would say I do like the film because this is an indie film that really shows that it's a lot of fun. There's, like the cast and crew love making it. It's a movie. It's a fun movie. It's it's the reason why movies exist. People loving to tell a story, wanting to tell, take you to a different dimension, a different world, right? So, I'm gonna right now just give it bubblegum, one bubblegum.
I'm also sort of torn on what to give this because it is clearly sort of an oily trash movie, but just for how stylistic it is, how much of a complete vision this feels like, and I did enjoy it. And looking at some of the other movies we've watched, I think I actually want to rate it above Freeze. So I think I'm going to give it, just because it does score so much higher than other films we've watched, I'm going to give it 4 more. Which is that's the opposite of what I thought. I thought I was going to hate this movie. I thought this was going to be one of those movies that's like bad on purpose, but that's not what this was at all. It felt very genuine.
I thought so too. I thought it was going to be so silly, and it's just like, oh gosh, this is going to be the worst. Maybe we shouldn't have watched it. But I'm very excited because it shows like why indie films could be fun and worth it. Working in indie films, doing indie films, watching indie films. This movie does it for me, and I love it. It's awesome. I'm inspired. I want to make movies because of this movie.
Yeah, that sounds glowing. I think we both recommend this. With a caveat, of course, because it is very niche. But if you like oily trash movies, you will like Robotica Destructiva.
True. All right. Remember to mace directly in the face.
Take care, comb your hair. Bye.
Bye.